Sorry, I had to get my phone ready. Good morning, everyone, again for attending our monthly service on to honor our Divine Parent of the Universe, our founder Ikigami Konko Daijin, and also the birthdays, people who are celebrating birthdays in this month of April. Your physical birthdays, happy birthday to the April babies, and also for the spiritual birthdays of our loved ones in this month. I think a lot of us are here for our our loved ones who had passed away this month of April, including our second head minister, the late Reverend Shinko Fukuda, her 50th spiritual birthday, that we'll be celebrating in a bigger way in June, on the 2nd, together with the spring grad ceremony for our Divine Parent at 10:30. So I hope you all can make it then. The other day, I had a friend who came up to visit from Southern California. So a number of us got together and we went out. And while we were going out, I mentioned about how when I tell Evan I'm going to leave, like to go on a trip or just to leave for the day, he always says, "I'll miss you." And then, which is so sweet, he always says, "I'll miss you." And my friend from Southern California said, "Well, her husband says to her, 'Don't go.'" So, yeah, "I'll miss you and don't go." So, which phrase makes us feel better? Which phrase can make us feel better, and which phrase can maybe create a feeling of guilt within us, right? "I'll miss you, don't go. I'll miss you, don't go." So "I'll miss you and don't go." It reminds me of when my paternal grandmother had gone. She was in the hospital, and it didn't look like she was going to make it. And so my mom and Evan and we went to go visit her in the hospital. And so we were on one side of her bed, and then my aunts and uncles were either at the foot of her bed or at the side of her bed. And they were crying and wailing and saying, "Nanay," we're Filipino, right? "Nanay, don't go, don't leave us." And then I just quietly talked to my grandmother and said to her, "Thank you, Grandma, for taking care of all your children and grandchildren in the Philippines, and also here in America, after my mom petitioned for you all to come reside in the U.S. And I'm sorry if there's anything that I've done that hurt you. You're already 89 years old. You must be exhausted. Your body must be exhausted. So, if you want, you can go ahead and leave it up to the Divine Parent Kami to take care of any of your worries, and also let your spirit join Divine Parent Kami and your other departed loved ones. So in this case, I actually used Divine Parent, well, God, because my grandma was Catholic. So shortly after this, within the time frame that my family and I were still there at the hospital, my grandmother did in fact transition to her spiritual form. And she seemed to be waiting for that permission by family that, it was okay and not to feel guilty for her leaving her physical form or leaving us. And she looked calm and peaceful. And I believe that one of the greatest gifts that we can give is to let one of our loved ones that are nearing the end of their physical life, know that it is okay not to hold on to their physical form when they are so ill or not, they're suffering so much in pain and they're exhausted, that it is okay to let go of your physical bodies and allow their spirit to be free to exist among us in the universe still and within Divine Parent Kami's body. And like our founder and divine mediator, Ikigami Konko Daijin, to go wherever they are asked for help. So in this faith, as we know, death is not to be feared. We commonly say a spiritual birthday instead of death or, Memorial Day. We say it's their spiritual birthday. And at the same time, we are taught to live our life fully in our physical form each day. Our founder taught us that whether we are in our physical or spiritual form, we're going to be okay. This really resonates with me, and I find peace of mind in it. So this is one of the things that really attracted me to this faith. So especially in the teaching that most of us are familiar with, whether you are in your physical or spiritual form, the universe is your eternal home. Be enlightened that whether you are in your physical or spiritual form, you are under the care of the universe. And the teaching, the light that shines is a divine blessing. The rain that falls is a divine blessing. All humans are allowed to live in the midst of divine blessings. People are born amid divine blessings. People die amid divine blessings. People live amid divine blessings, and people die amid divine blessings. So when it appears to be the time of spiritual transition to become a Mitama ancestral spirit for someone you know, and you have the opportunity to be with that loved one at that time, either in person or even on the phone, it may be comforting to the person about to transition to thank them for whatever you truly, sincerely are grateful for and feel in your heart for them. Number 2, let them know they will always be loved and missed. And number 3, share anything you are sorry for that you did for them. Number 4, suggest that they trust or have faith in Kami and have them leave any worries on their mind with Kami. And number 5, that, actually it's really not up to us to give them permission, right? But sometimes loved ones close to death, they want to hear us say that it's okay for them to let go of their physical form and transition to their eternal spiritual form, as opposed to saying, don't go or don't leave me, which is usually beyond their control or ability to stay alive, right? So I don't think any of us would want to feel guilty for leaving and being thought to abandon or leave anyone behind. So we can share in the same breath that we love them and that we will miss them, but if they're too exhausted or if they're in too much pain, we don't want them to suffer anymore. And we can ask Kami-sama to let them transition comfortably and peacefully, giving the permission that they may need to hear for them to let go. In their time of need, I believe it is important to think of their feelings and what we think is important for them to hear. As much as we may be hurting, it's important to make their feelings the priority and make it about them. If we didn't have the chance to have this conversation with our loved one when they were alive, we can still do it in their spiritual form. Just like today we're having this service for them and we're communicating our prayers to them. So after all, we have this ongoing interdependent relationship with them, an eternal, never-ending one. Letting loved ones know we will miss them instead of saying, don't go, actually can also be applied to when loved ones are taking a trip without us, or our children going off to college, or moving for a job, or moving to be with a friend or romantic partner. So on occasion, for any type of temporary or long-term separations, when the other person wants to go, I believe that saying, I will miss you, without saying don't go, will go a long way in physical and spiritual relationships. So I'd like to hear your thoughts about that. Thank you.